Looking for help with course design and installations? A new disc or other accessories for your game? Well, OzDiscs has a huge range of all disc golf equipment in stock. 5% of each sale goes back to support your local club through their rewards program. Also, did we mention they have next day shipping? Well, jump online and check out OzDiscs now at www.ozdiscs.com.au. For over 10 years, the Flying Disc Store has stocked Australia's largest range of flying disc products. From disc golf discs and bags to ultimate frisbees, throw and catch discs and dog discs, the Flying Disc Store has everything you need. As part of our support of the Tee-Off, the Flying Disc Store would like to provide Tee-Off listeners with 5% off any purchase in the store. Just use the code TEEOFF5 when checking out to get your discount. Visit www.flyingdiscstore.com.au today to grab a deal. And if you have any questions, be sure to contact their friendly staff. And welcome back to the Tee-Off, an Australian podcast about the awesome sport of disc golf. This is episode 82. My name is Paddy Robinson, and I'm here with Timmy Bowen. How are ya?
Good, thanks, Paddy.
That's good. And no Fergie, mate. We've replaced him. Ash Weidner is in the booth after an absolute journey down from Melbourne. Thanks, sponsor of V-Line?
V-Line, yeah.
V-Line. Where'd you end up, Ash? In
where did was it North Geelong? Tim?
Melton?
Picked you up in North Geelong.
Yeah,
Wyndham Vale. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
There's no disc golf course out there, so I've never been there.
It's been a hell of a journey. Look, for a bit of context, guys, my partner's in Europe at the moment, right?
Oh.
She texted me when I was at Southern Cross, getting on the train to Geelong. She was in The Hague, saying, I'm going to Amsterdam today. When Tim picked me up at North Geelong Station, my partner texted me to say, like a picture from Amsterdam. So she'd got from The Hague to Amsterdam in the time it took me to get from Melbourne to North Geelong.
Sounds about right.
That seems a lot scarier for you too, Ash.
Yeah. I haven't ended up in Amsterdam, so yeah.
Well, no, so Fergie is taking a little bit of a break from the pod. He's got a lot of disc golf things on his plate. He's a very busy fella. So I think we might hear from him later on in the year, but he's just going to be off the mic for a bit. And, we'll be having a few people filter through. So awesome to have you here, Ash. And we love it because obviously we do quite a bit of stuff with the Park Boys, which you are a part of. So, it's good to have you here.
Good to be here, mate.
Can we just watch Lamb Shanks on repeat right now? Just my favourite thing in the world.
Are you going to do the...
Sorry to your kids that I just woke up, Paddy.
It's all right, they've heard worse.
Have I ever made a lamb shank, Ash? I actually don't think I've watched all of them.
Have you ever been on Lamb Shanks?
Yeah, someone ever sent Timmy Bowen Shank on there.
Yeah, I think you were the first. I think you were in the first one or two of Lamb Shanks on the Clubhouse. But usually Jason will pick one of your shots up during a round, and that'll be his choice that he'll put in to make sure it's in there. But,
I've got to go back and catch up on the Clubhouses because I've watched the last few and they've been amazing. So I've got to get back and catch up. They've all started at that quality, right? You haven't gotten better over time?
Yeah, absolutely. We pretty much do the same thing every week, and just something else goes wrong. Before the show. So
I only ask because the Tee-Off started at like peak quality, and we've just maintained that quality all the way through. Make sure you go and listen to our first few episodes.
Yeah, 2 hours plus. Anyway, we're going to shout out there is the Park Clubhouse, which is awesome. We did finish the commentary, and I think round 1 commentary for Vic Open is
in the can.
So that should be coming out pretty bloody soon, which would be pretty cool. I'm actually really looking forward to watching the feature card footage. I'm sure that was a bit of a laugh.
I'm looking forward to watching you miss that Mando again, Paddy, if I'm being honest.
That should make Lamb Shanks, to be honest.
You were cooking at that point. Anyway, spoilers. Let's move on.
Anyway. Yeah, it doesn't keep me up at night. All right, next straight into it. Little reflection. So I just wanted to share. Sometimes, we can get a little bit negative on this pod, and hey, we're human. Sometimes we get stuck in that. But I just wanted to say on Sunday just gone, I sold something on Facebook. The guy came to the house. He gave, and Freddie was with me. He gave us $30 for some little thing that I sold. I said to Fred, "Hey, why don't we go and buy some petrol and take it out to the golf cart at Inverleigh?" We went out to Inverleigh. We spent 6 hours out at Inverleigh just jumping on, chasing kangaroos. Yes, we played a bit of disc golf. We just went around and just had this beautiful time together. He loved it. I loved it, and that's what I think. Disc golf is really about, playing with your kids, playing with your friends. But yeah, I thought that was just a really nice moment. I wanted to share.
Sounds very heartwarming, Paddy. I'm not negative at all. My brain certainly didn't picture
lovely.
you and Freddie out with $30 of petrol, huffing it all day. I didn't believe. That's not where my head went. It certainly went to the sunshines and lollipop story you just told. That sounds great,
mate.
though.
Yeah, it was a day.
I do love taking Lloydie out to Deakin.
Yeah. Deakin Steep's fun, but yeah, get it. Buy if you ever have the opportunity to buy a golf cart, do it. If you have little kids.
Up 4 this week, Paddy.
Yeah,
the pod's coming too late in the week for that.
Anyway, there's my tip of the week, and I think let's get into some news.
What's news around the world, around Australia? What's news? What's happened and who's spoken?
Now, there wasn't any Disc Golf Pro Tour stuff on the weekend, but we did have a little bit of a taste of it. Was an elite event. Was that still Disc Golf Pro Tour elite event?
I don't know.
Did I completely stuff that?
Was it a plus
delivery?
or a Q or a...
I don't know.
I'm not sure the players even know.
I found it under... No, I lie. It is a Disc Golf Pro Tour, but it wasn't in the US. It was in Europe at... it was the Konopiste Open. And... Look, I jumped on. I didn't see a whole heap of this. It just popped up on some of my notifications, and I really enjoyed watching Konopiste. I mean, it's a super beautiful location. They've got the big castle in the middle. The grounds look insane. Big trees, open fairways, lots of really cool shots. And yeah, I just think if anyone hasn't watched it, it's probably worth going back and having a look at. The MPO winner was Mary Vildman, and during the week, Tim, I said, he's Prodigy sponsored, but he's not.
Oh, he's not?
He's MVP.
Okay. I thought he was cool for a second there.
Yeah, I think he was Prodigy at one point, but anyway. And then the FPO winner was Kristen Latch, both playing insane golf. Like Maori was, I think his event rating average was like in the 1060s, 1070, and then Kristen, absolutely dominated again. So
No foot faults?
I didn't see any. No.
I reckon the European, what do you call those marshals? They'd be a bit friendlier to her, hey?
Oh, I think they'd probably know the rules too. PDGA rules.
There was a marshal following her. I watched a lot of it because I was doing some editing all weekend, and there was a marshal following over her right shoulder for most of the tournament.
There you go. Yeah.
The other thing that I thought was really cool about this was a lot of these players actually came out to the World Team Disc Golf Championships. So I got a lot out of seeing some of the women like Katie Tate. Who was the other fella that you mentioned before?
Timo Hartmann.
Yeah,
was on the feature card for MPO round 1.
Yeah.
Even if you watched the live stream of hole 18 after FPO finished, you would have seen Ben Holding from the UK or Great Britain, Team Great Britain. Sorry.
Yeah. That was pretty damn cool, and nice to have those a bit of those relationships and see those guys playing. So, yeah. I think Bainey he was posting a bit as well. I think he was more posting because he had a bit of FOMO. He played it last year or maybe the year before. But
he's on the caddy book. He's on the front of the caddy book.
There you go.
Bainwatch. Yeah, we got the inside word from Europe last week.
Unreal. All right, next up, what means way more to us is the Aussie Tour. So I think the biggest thing that happened over the weekend wasn't at Olinda. It was the Birdie Babes getting out there and doing the national event. How
many events? There were 9 in total?
Look, from what I can figure out here, there was 6 connected events that were these Birdie Babes National Tournament events. So when we talk about the national tournament, it's like your women's global event, virtual tournament, and the Aussie Disc Golf Day, stuff like that.
Using the ratings.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like they had 6 connected events across the country and then 3 other tangential events. So a couple of others, Olinda and Hopkins and the Burnie Winter Classic were all part of it as well. Or women could enter this national event. 6 individual events by 6 different female TDs. Some of them first-time TDs. Tenise Stark, who is running Birdie Babes as an organisation, first-time TD for her event, and a couple of other female TDs, along with Christy Hales Thornton, quite experienced now in SA. So incredible event. And it looks like they had 68, I think, individual female players across the event, a lot of first-time players across 11 divisions, so not bad for a first outing.
Yeah. That's unreal. I did see they made some TV coverage. Did you boys see that?
I did, yeah. I think it was the
look.
Molong or Central West event.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Did you want to have a listen?
Go for it.
Central West Disc Golfer has welcomed keen throwers from all over the state for their annual Ladies on the Lake. Competitors showcase their forehand and backhand brilliance across 18 holes at one pretty stunning location.
Carving up the course, these disc golfers soared in the annual Ladies on the Lake tournament, hosted by Birdie Babes Australia at Orange's Lake Canobolas.
It's just great that we have the layout, the scenery, the location here today.
In an event to encourage more women and juniors to get involved in the growing sport and close-knit community.
Yeah, pretty cool there. That was on Channel 7. I always love hearing people who know absolutely nothing about disc golf explaining what disc golf is. Shout out to that presenter. Forehand, backhand, good on you, mate. And there was actually a RPM basket featured on the front there, so Simon Feasy would be
Fergie would have hated
pretty
that.
happy. But yeah, super cool.
Yeah, huge event. Huge event for the girls and Tenise, who's just taken over Birdie Babes from the original founders and sort of decided to take it national and do something like this. Huge challenge, huge event. We all know how much hassle running an event can be. So. Well done to all the TDs, Margaret Trail, Tenise Stark, Claire Thomas, Lauren Tuvey, Leah Manning and Christy Hales Thornton. Do we want to know who won the national events?
100%.
Was it Zach James? I heard Zach James was the winner.
Well, Zach James played in the ACT division, obviously, or ACT iteration of the event, obviously ineligible for the women's Birdie Babes event.
It's not what he's telling us.
But he's fronted up in MPO, and I think he's won at 26 down at the ACT event. So
red hot start.
Well done there, Zachy. Well done on holding it together and obviously not getting too ahead of yourself after round 1. A la Sizzler Zach. But if we look at the Birdie Babes national event, we've got Sue Summers in FP40.
Oh, nice, Sue.
Yeah, taking it out over Joanne McCamish. FA1 or Women's Amateur 1, Sarah Moore from the Birdie Babes ACT event over Sam Ockerby. It looks like a really played above her rating there by a fair way, Sarah. So well done there.
More of Sarah, please.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's
more. Thanks. Yeah, come on. Come on, Ash.
Yeah, nice. So no one on the clubhouse, or Jason's a dad, but he doesn't do many dad jokes, so I've got to get
Tim loves it too, so,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm just always surprised that you can't hear me die inside on podcasts, because every week, a little bit more.
FA40, Women's Amateur 40, Sarah Shaughnessy up there at the Brisbane Birdie Babes event, which I believe was at Pine Rivers in a nice little prelude to the Queensland Open. Janet Cartwright in Women's Amateur 50 she's in the ACT event as well, and FA 55, Women's Amateur 55, as to soon be seen on the Parked Media feature card from the Vic Open, Tanya Bean.
Oh, yeah.
The Brisbane one as well. TB, Tanya Bean, very close. Joy Crosswell, FA 60, FA 2, Amy Ellis at the Ladies on the Lake, excellent name for a tournament, short, sharp, alliterative. FA 3, Lauren Tuvey, Ladies on the Lake, also over Brenda Ryan. Bridget Welsh, FA 4, Ladies on the Lake. They've taken home some silverware this weekend. Lily Nicholson Love, Ladies on the Lake. That's a lot of L's. And Girls Junior 12, a division I've never seen before. Fantastic. Lucy Mirendorf at Brisbane Birdie Babes. So what an event.
Yeah.
If you want to know more about Birdie Babes, just put them into Facebook or Instagram. Hit them up. They're really into getting women playing the game and making it a safe and easy space for them to get around the country, get to tournaments and discover this fantastic game.
It's awesome stuff because we know us guys, we don't do a hell of a lot to get the girls into the sport. So it's good to see that they're picking up the slack and hopefully we can do the same over the next 12 to 24 months.
I don't know, Tim. You're not bringing in too many women into the sport, mate.
Hey, I've signed up Nancy Bowen as a PDJ member. That's about that's plus one for
that's
me.
A fair effort. That's a fair effort.
It's one more than
you're
most.
one more over me, mate. Awesome. So then we go to the Olinda Rock the Track. So this was a little pop-up event in Olinda, Victoria. Super cool location for disc golf. We super elevated. I think someone had the old the phone going during the whole time and checking out how far we were, the Fitbit. Sorry, we did. I think it was roughly like 132 stories and roughly 17 Ks over 2 rounds. So the body was feeling it at the end of the day, but
felt that thanks to the TD, giving me the starting hole right up down at the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah,
well done. Yeah,
both rounds.
Both rounds. Yeah, but no, good fun.
No,
glad
Alex,
I played that.
That's absolute cash. Good on you, Alex.
That was so fun though. Like I was keen to have a break from disc golf, but I reckon I've had like 6 or 7 people tell me, where would be a great spot for disc golf? This Olinda. I had no clue where it was in the state of Victoria, but I looked it up and apparently it's like 5 minutes from my cousin's house. Stayed there, no practice, and had a blast. It was fun.
Heaps of fun. Look, in the MPO, I did get up. I'm just going to shout myself out. I had one of the highest round ratings in the opening round with a 10.42. I think
still pending. I reckon that could get spiked up a little bit too.
It could also get spiked down. We'll see.
I reckon up. We had Cassie not play too well in the first round, and I don't think anyone else did, Paddy. So some good propagations upward, I think.
So that was pretty fun, but just a good place to play, and got to play with quite a few guys that I haven't played with for a while. So that was also very, very fun.
Pen Lou had a very good win in MA1.
Yeah,
he's someone that is knocking on the door of MPO surely, playing some solid disc golf.
I was on. We were following him for a bit, so I've heard a bit about Penn, but it was cool to see him throw. He's got a wicked forehand, nice backhand too.
Yeah, I've still never seen him throw it, but I always see. It's not every event, but a lot of events that he plays, he is smoking that MA1 field. It's awesome.
Yeah. In the MA40, we had Taryn Anderson take the win just over
playoff
Claire Huss, and he ended up hitting I think it was about like a 13-meter putt on the playoff hole to get the win. And it was pretty funny. Like, I don't think they were going to do hole 1 as the playoff hole, but everyone after the second round was pulling in all the baskets. So I think that was one of the only holes left.
Hey, they did tell us to bring the baskets in.
Yeah.
We trudged a basket all the way up from the mountain from hole 3. Thank you very much.
Yeah. The old cars were burning.
I was just going to say, I've played a bit with Taryn and Huss. If he's sinking a 13-metre putt, you've got real unlucky there.
I got to play with Huss in the first round, and she was playing some good golf. It was good fun.
I played with Taz. He played some good golf, apart from some rollers that went absolutely haywire. But that's what you get with Taryn. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's either
strap yourself in,
up or down. Yeah. In the MA50, we had Mike Van Linden get a pretty comfortable win over Simon Farrar. In MA2, we had Levi Norton get a 1-stroke win over Chu Tran, and Daniel Frawley. In the FA2, we had Bridget Albiston get a win. MA3 was David Gannon, the Cannon. Pretty comfortable win there too. And then MA4 was Marcus Davies. So, it was good to see. It was a sold-out event. It could only host 45 players, so that's what was there. And if you want it in the ground, Melbourne, I hear that it's not going to happen anytime soon. Because
mate, there was a few dog walkers out there. Fair to say there were a few dog walkers.
Yeah,
I still remember we waited probably close to 10 minutes, which for my ADHD brain felt like 5 years, for a lady to push a pram up the hill. Only for it
true.
to get close to us, and she had a dog in the pram and not a human being.
Yeah, what's the call on that?
That's trash, Pete.
That's trash?
That is absolutely trash.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think there was a few dog walkers who were a little bit miffed.
Yeah, absolutely there were. Yeah.
But most of them were actually pretty approachable.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the one lady who, so there was this big par 4 straight uphill, like it challenged the par 5 at Poimena, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And our group is coming up the hill and we're about 50 meters away from the basket. She's standing right there and she's like shouting at us. She's like, "Oh, what's this game? This is awesome." Literally screaming at us. And as we're getting closer, like she just kept getting louder. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to walk up to her and talk to her. We were literally like then 5 meters away and she still held the same volume. She was like, "Oh, this is great." Like, okay, why are you shouting at us, lady? But anyway, it was good to see. There was a lot of people out supporting it, but I think Parks Vic is just not going to get it over the line. But it is a shame because it'd be a very cool place to have a course.
Very cool place. Where are we off to next, Paddy?
Next up, we've got the Hopkins Heiser, which was held down in Warrnambool. This was a little pop-up event. I think Ryan Nicholson ran it, didn't he?
Yep. And it ran over 2 days. I think one day had MPO, FP40, MA40, MA2, FA1, and MA4, FA3. And the other day had the rest.
Yeah.
And fair to say the forecast was horrendous leading into the event, but I don't think it actually eventuated to be as bad as it initially looked.
Yeah, it looked
At one
like
point there was 10 mil of rain and 50k winds.
Yeah.
Which was that was a no from me, dog.
Yeah,
I was
me too.
I was on the fence whether I was playing this one or not, and I was like, nah, that's not happening.
It didn't help. My family were quite unwell, but it's a bit of a shame to miss it because I know the Warrnambool course is somewhere that could easily get up.
Okay.
It's on the Deakin Uni grounds. It's an old decommissioned disc golf course that is just they tried to sell it off and it got knocked back. So it's just literally parkland.
Okay.
But yeah, it's fairways.
Yeah.
Let's run through the winners, shall we?
So yeah.
MP40, Ryan Nicholson had a win over Lee Thompson. MA1, we've shouted him out once before, and I'll shout him out again. Penn Lou had a 5-shot win over Alan Brunsting. And Aidan Howard actually sneaking on into MA1.
Oh, he wanted to do the double day, hey?
10% discount. That was a very good initiative by Ryan Nicholson.
Is Penn Lou getting close there? Maybe it's time to jump up? What do we reckon?
I mean, I just said that, but yes, I reckon. I'm not definitely no sandbagger, but he's someone that's sort of...
Yeah, he's on the cusp.
He's on the cusp.
We're watching your pen.
That's it. FA40, Michelle Schultz had a win. MA50, Mike van der Linden beat Kerry Edwards. FA50, Sue Donnelly had a win.
Good win.
MA3, Aaron how do you say it, Ash?
Piersantini.
Yeah. Had a one-shot win over Zach Schlofel. That's a tight one.
That's a fun name.
And FA4, Emily Ward. We'll move on over to day 2. And a man we're going to have on the pod very shortly for a chat, Leo Dykes won in a playoff over Rhino Hart. So we'll get the lowdown on that one and how MPO shook out.
Yeah, I'm keen to hear about it, to be honest.
FA1, Kate Eldridge had a win over Emma Winkworth. MA40, JC Justin Clark beat Ryan Nicholson.
Nice.
MA2, Jack Tonsing.
Sorry, Ryan Nicholson going for the back-to-back double day wins.
Yeah, I mean, he ran into a red, steaming hot JC. That guy is on fire. In both
beat Lee Thompson twice, though.
He did. Yeah. He did. And that was very satisfying, I'm sure. Shout out to Lee Thompson. Jack Tonsing looks like he won in a playoff over Alex Young-Jackway. FA3, Taryn Salter had a win over Taylor Clark. MA4, Ashley Brukers beat Ross Davies. And MJ15, Marcus Davies. And FJ15, Charlotte Davies. So Davies trophy cabinet at home is going to be filling up very quickly with the juniors coming through.
I mean, if Ryan Nicholson or Michelle are listening, I'd like to know how they decided the division spread.
I mean, I can give a bit of context to that.
Please.
I spoke to Ryan at the Vic Open, and what he was trying to do was encourage, your MA3 player, so he split it MA2, MA4, FA3, like the odds and evens.
Yeah, skipped a division. So you can play both. Because,
nice.
If you wanted to play MPO and MA1, if they're both on the same day, you couldn't do it, Paddy.
That is satisfying.
It's clever.
I like it.
He's an innovator. He's an innovator, Ryan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do that in January and I will be there. But Warrnambool mid-year, it was just like, oh my God, maybe.
Do it for the eruption.
Actually, I'd like to look up what the windiest months are because I think we're in it at the moment.
I mean, it just
it's like half the year, to be honest. All right, next we go down to the Burnie Winter Classic in Montello, Tasmania. TD was Ed Lancaster. Good on you, Ed. We had 14 players, and in the MPO, Sam Rubok got a win by 2 strokes over Ollie Mundycastle. In the MA1, Ed TD got up by 5 strokes over Zinzor. That is a fun name. In the MA40, Brett Duffin got a win by 1 stroke over John. MA50 was Tim Jolly. FA50, hang on. FA50? F? Is there, there's a female...
Wait, we have a confirmed female in Tasmania.
Hang on. I don't think she played because there's no round.
No.
Certainly doesn't look like it.
That counts. I'm counting
She's
it.
on the list.
Well done to Bernie. We have a confirmed female disc golfer in Tasmania.
Oh, mate, they're diversifying. Look out.
It's awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's great. And MA2 was Brad Smith with their win. Very nice. I don't know where Montello is and what the course is, but cool. Good stuff.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, if Victoria's cold, Burnie's got to be pretty bloody cold this time of year.
Burnie's northwest, I think, of Tassie?
Yep, exactly right, northwest. Yep.
All right. And look, I'm not really sure what the next thing on the Aussie calendar is, to be honest, Tim. I think there's a couple little pop-ups.
Mate, I'm on holidays, so my next event's like the end of June.
Yeah.
And we've got Queensland Open the week after.
Yeah.
Melbourne celebrates, mate. You're on the list for that, surely.
Maybe. What did I just sign up for?
It was that one, I think.
Wasn't Melbourne? No, what was the other one that just came out?
Next up, Tintinara tee off, maybe? You playing Tinty?
No.
I'll get around to Tinty.
The Big Moist. I signed up for that.
Big Wet.
Oh, the Big Wet.
Big Wet, yeah. It's back at Vic Park, though. Saw that.
I
thought it was going to be in the Pines, but anyway, cool.
I mean, we're risking life and limb playing in Ballarat at any time mid-year. It could be miserable.
That's all right.
Next up, Tintinara tee-off. So make sure you get around that one if you can. Rob Hancock Memorial. And then we have the Townsville Winter Classic.
Oh, cool. All right.
They have winter in Townsville, do they?
Apparently.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 23 degrees and, winter.
There's a cloud.
That's skivvy weather.
Yeah. They'll be wearing jumpers, though, let's be honest. All right. Do we want to do a couple of quick picks for the Northwest Disc Golf Championship? It's the DGPT Plus event happening this weekend in Portland, Oregon.
That Portland course is sick.
This is my favourite part of the tour.
Yeah, okay.
Once it hits that Northwest coast, thank you. Like, I've seen there's a lot of pros playing like Milo McIver and stuff, and it's just the best. But I don't know. What do you reckon? Do some quick picks.
This is a bomber. So, I want to go AB or Gannon or Simon even.
Yeah.
I was thinking Simon.
Yeah. I'm going to go AB.
AB?
Yep.
I'm going to stick with Simon. I reckon he's due.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Eagle. I think he likes this course, and he's kind of hovering. He's creeping back up. So yeah, that's my tip.
All right, let's see how that pans out.
Probably not well. All right, I think next up we're going to get Dykes on the phone. Hey.
We just called to have a chin wag. We just called to have a chat with friends. We just called to talk some disc golf and to catch up on the latest disc golf trends.
All right, and on the phone, the big Leo Dykes from Melbourne. Leo, we've just done a bit of the recap. You had a big win on the weekend, mate, that came down to maybe a pretty exciting finish. And we don't know what happened. I want to know what happened. Can you take us through it?
Exciting is a relative term. So, okay, let's start. We're on hole 18. I'm one shot over Reinhardt. It's this par 5 through quite wooded, lots of trees. He gets we're both sort of 6 meters past the basket. I've got a putt for my par. It's a little longer than his, and he's got a putt for birdie. I have to make mine to stay at 8 under. He has to make his to force a playoff, and we both make our putts. So that's pretty exciting.
Pretty clutch.
Yeah, that's cool.
Shout out to Ryan for that one.
Yeah, and I was really hoping he missed it, but unfortunately, he got the putting magic there. And then playoff hole, not nearly as exciting. Rhino throws first, hits a tree, goes straight OB. I lay up, tap in a bogey, and win. So, not the most exciting playoff hole.
How did he go OB? So he hit the tree.
It's like that hole. Just you kick OB if you hit if you're throwing a backhand, you hit the left side of a tree, you just kick OB immediately.
It's just OB straight away. No. Okay.
Yeah. I just threw a forehand straight into the ground.
How did you decide who went first? It was just
I flipped the disc. I said, if it lands heads, I go first. If it lands tails, you go first. And
okay, yeah.
It landed tails.
Oh, mate. That Reinhardt, if you're listening, I feel you, buddy.
Yeah, no, it was not the greatest feeling win after that, but
nah, mate, that's a win. A win's a win, mate. And is this your first playoff?
I think I've lost 2 playoffs to you by going OB on the first drive. And
I appreciate it muchly. So I know how Leo feels. He's been all diplomatic here, but you take it. It's a
trash win.
You take it. You take it. Laying up for the victory.
Absolutely, I took it.
Nah, but congrats, mate. It's awesome stuff. And not only did you beat Ryan Hart, you beat your good mate Ryan Deere, which just furthers my theory that you are the better of the two there.
If I didn't hurt my shoulder, I would have beat him at Vic Open.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. And on the topic of you two, I normally ask people that come on the pod, what do they got planned for the rest of the year? You guys are chuffing off to Europe, I hear.
Yes, we are. Not together.
Oh, okay. I just assumed it was.
We didn't suggest you were, mate.
I was sending a PSA to the European ladies to watch out. But
no, they've got to watch out for Diros, the hybrid athlete.
Absolutely, they do.
He's going straight to Estonia.
Oh, absolutely. He's going to find his disc golf wife.
Mate, will you be Ashley here, mate, from the other end of the fairway? How you going?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Good, mate. Just if you're going to Europe with Diros, you're obviously going to be spending some time there. Has he got anyone minding him? Has he got someone looking after his stuff, his bags, his hand luggage? If he's got one of those travel belts for his money? How is
maybe
he
I
going to go?
should have a look into that. I should. I know he's going with a group of his mates, so I'll conduct some interviews and assign a carer.
Yep, I think it's probably wise.
Just to make sure that he comes back in one piece, because as much as I like beating him, I also do like playing disc golf with him.
Yeah, that's it. Over, under, how many phones does Ryan go through? 3 phones? 2 phones?
Oh, mate, you can talk.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I lost mine too.
Yeah, you lost yours too. Yeah.
Hopkins Heiser was grim. He lost his phone in his bag multiple times that tournament. So I don't mean to flame him, but it's just so hard not to.
I saw
So that's back-to-back tournaments. We know that Ryan Deere has lost a phone. Okay.
I saw on Instagram, Anthony Barella was rocking up with his disc golf bag and another disc golf bag to a tournament. Yeah. And they were like, what are you doing? He's like, these are Cupcake's bag discs. He left his bag at the hotel and he's on hole 3 playing with a couple of discs.
Yeah. I can see you doing that.
So funny.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you're not traveling together, but are you playing any disc golf together over there? Is that what's happening there?
Well, because we just happen to be going on trips at the same time. I'm going for like a study tour, but I'll do a bit of holiday beforehand. We happen to meet up in Venice for a couple nights. So we don't know how much disc golf there is in Venice. I don't think there's much, but
a lot of water
who knows?
carries.
We could get it. A lot of water carries. We could get a good night out in the town.
I'm just picturing Lady and the Tramp right now. Leo, most definitely the Tramp.
And I was going to say.
Absolutely.
Ryan Deere, the lady, just slurping nose to nose.
Be dressed in my film student attire with my dirty mo and mullet. He'll be there clean shaven, beautiful white linen, walking on the side of the canals.
Mate. So is that the reason you're going as a film student study tour to Venice?
Yes,
so a bit of Don't Look Now sort of recreations coming our way, perhaps?
Yeah, definitely some creative stuff, hopefully.
Love it.
Okay, so if you're not going mainly then for disc golf, Leo, how many discs are you taking?
That's a good question.
That's a very interesting question because I do happen to be in Stockholm and Oslo, so I will be playing Crocol at the very least.
Oh, mate. Okay. That's not
really exciting.
That's not a 3-disc course, mate.
Absolutely not a 3-disc course.
And here's a 3-disc and a shopping bag type man, Paddy.
Yeah. So I'm like, maybe I just play with an Ultrastar.
I can just picture your luggage coming through the airport. Like, everyone's got nice bags. You're going to have the beaten up box with tape around each corner, just rolling around the carousel.
The old travel chest.
I'll sort of rip a part of the box off, make sure my passport's still there. I think 8. 8 is the limit, I think. But I've got a friend coming with me, so I need to bring like a Mako 3 or something for him. But I'm sure I can fit a slot there.
Okay. All right. There we go.
All right, mate. So apart from Europe, we're assuming you're coming back for the big ones, the Eruption Champs. What else is on the agenda?
Absolutely.
Oh, awesome stuff. So good to see that the Australian tour is still forefront of your mind.
Yeah, of course. Coming back, probably playing Inverleigh. We'll look to play New South Wales Open, depending on when that lines up and how much that costs. But definitely Eruption and Nationals.
Awesome stuff, mate.
Unreal. All right, mate. Well, enjoy the holiday, and I'm curious to hear what like the 8 discs are. But anyway, enjoy. I'll leave disc golf aside. Enjoy being the wingman for Diros. Don't get him lost. Make sure he comes back. And congrats on a maybe not an exciting playoff hole, but a win altogether. And I'm sure there was a little bit of excitement anyway. So congrats, well done, and thanks for coming on the pod.
Awesome. Thanks, boys.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Leo.
All right. What a nice fella. All I can see coming out is Lady and the Tramp with some a bit of Photoshop love on there. All right. Next up, fellas, we've got this segment. I put out some questions on Instagram about... I want to try and find... I'm in the market for some new shoes for disc golf. And I think we've got a pretty unique terrain in Australia. We go from very hot to very cold, rocky to soggy. So I wanted to see what some people thought of the best disc golf shoe for Australia. And I want to hear your thoughts too. So, Tim, I know you sent a couple of these in. So the Merrill Moab 3W Gore-Tex.
That's because someone sent that to me.
Someone sent that to you. Okay.
Oh, I forget who it was now. But, yeah, the Merrills. They were very... I think I've had 2 people send in Merrills. I think one of them was Ryan Nicholson, one was maybe Reese Skirt.
Okay.
But very, very comfortable shoes, known for their like hiking qualities.
Yep.
I had a pair of Merrills. They were the very first shoes I was rocking down at Barwon Valley. Yep. They grated like cheese on the concrete pads.
Yeah, okay.
So they're pricey too. So
yeah,
do you
like the old drag the toe?
For that's what the forehands just chopped them to bits. So that's why I was like, oh, you know what? They're really comfy shoes, but I'm not dropping a couple $100 on a pair of Merrills. Ruin.
I did a little bit of a current Google search. I'm sure you can probably get some on sale, but they're coming in roughly about that $220 mark. The next one, which I think is what you own and currently using, the Idiosyncrasy.
Yeah, look, I got a pair of the Idios when I was down playing New Zealand 2 years ago, and they sponsored the event and they had them there, and I was like, these are amazing.
By the way, I think that is like one of the coolest, we've had some items go into player packs and that sort of stuff that, they're kind of unique, but I think shoes are up there.
Mate,
shoes are pretty
this was
cool.
a pair of custom Idio shoes, $200, and the entry, you got them for not the comp that I played, but the next comp. Entry to that comp was $150.
Yeah.
I was like, can I just sign up?
Yeah.
I'll pay for the entry for some 8-year-old kid that wants to play. He wears size 11s, and I'll just get the shoes. But no, they're great. I haven't looked back since. And, I mean...
How do they go with a bit of wet weather?
Absolutely fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not really heavy on the plant foot anyway. But for me, just the toe cap for dragging for forehands, not a problem whatsoever. And, I mean, they are on the pricier side. They're $200. I think I paid $210 shipped to your house.
Yeah.
But they will last a lot longer than your sort of non-disc golf design shoes, in my opinion, and very, very comfortable.
All right. The other one that came in was, and I'm probably going to butcher this, but Saucont Peregrine, or Saucony or something like that.
Saucony.
Saucony, thank you. They're price on them ranges from about $130 to almost $300, but I think Marlon is rocking these in Ballarat. So, I mean, if he's rocking them in a bit of slop, that is Ballarat, they mustn't be too bad.
I think the whole disc golf shoe argument comes down to you need traction, water resistance, needs to be comfortable, and it needs to be cheap because unless they're designed like the Idios, you're probably going to wreck some shoes pretty quickly.
Yeah, blow through that toe.
Yeah.
I think, like $300, it's too much for me.
It's too much. I like the Idios. Before I was on the Idios, I was basically spending $100 to $130 on a pair of Adidas Terexes.
Yeah.
And they're no good compared to what else you can get. But I was like, look, they're $100. If I get them on sale, I buy 2 pairs and I'm sorted for like a year.
Yeah. The other one that popped up was Keen the Targi, but again, super expensive. They're about $240 to $300. I am currently using the Salomons, which was also sent in, and sometimes you can get them for under $200, sometimes about that $150, but I think their normal price is about that $230 sort of mark.
I had a pair of Salomons too. I found that their tread was massive on the trail runners.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in high heels.
Yeah.
Which, I think...
It's good for the calves.
I mean, but it's not good for the ground feel. That's why everyone's wearing the sock shoes, the Vivo barefoots these days. But they're like $1 million for virtually no material. So I don't know. Those people are getting scammed, bro. Like, for real.
Tim likes a lot of plastic on his foot, and it's good. I like it.
Like dropping the cash they drop on those shoes for something that offers no support. I get the ground feel and strengthening the foot.
Yeah, you got to be careful though. You can do like little micro fractures and stuff with. I mean,
for me, I wear orthotics. I need all the support I can have, and I like the fact that yes, like strengthening your feet, great. But what about the upper leg, the calves, the soleus? That's not really being helped. I think on a flat foot sole. But that's just my opinion. People can go nuts and definitely at me on Instagram if you think otherwise.
I think the theory with the barefoot shoes, I was talking to Jason Vito about this last week. The theory with those is it's combined with other full body exercise, and I think that's perhaps the part of it that disc golfers miss.
That's
the part of the deal. They go, barefoot shoes are going to fix everything. I don't have to do calf raises, glute raises, all of that sort of stuff.
What are you talking about? We are athletes, Ash. Come on, mate.
I am a professional athlete, Ash.
Yes, you are. Sorry, guys. I forget this is your livelihood. Apologies.
Shout out to Tom Lean as well, because apparently he had some Solomons and someone must like him because they nicked him off his front doorstep, which he wasn't too happy about.
Well, they're cool now. All the hipsters are wearing Solomons now.
Okay. Are they really?
Yeah. All the Brunswick Street types have got the the bezel shoes. The only thing I'll add to that, I wear Under Armour golf shoes. Spikeless golf shoes. So for years now, for my high stack on the heel and lift for my back and everything, I've worn Under Armour Hover Phantom runners.
Okay.
And they released a golf shoe, exactly the same profile shoe, just with spikes on the bottom, waterproof, absolutely magnificent. So I've had some Puma ones for years, Puma spikeless golf shoes. Real nice little hack because golf shoes are real nice, as we know. But a nice little hack for, if you don't want to spend a couple of $100 on Salomons or something really, really expensive. I've had some great experiences with the spikeless golf shoes.
What do they come back?
I think if you sign up for Under Armour, I'm not sponsored by the way, but I am an Essendon supporter.
If you're listening, Under Armour.
But you sign up for their website. They send you 50% off deals all the time. So I think I paid about $120 for full Under Armour runners, just spikes on the bottom, fully waterproof, and not to you can get the waterproof golf shoes that your foot's just a sauna. And it's just swamp foot after 3 holes, but not these ones. They breathe beautifully. So, check it out, underarmour.com.au.
I love the fact that we're doing all of Paddy's just research before he buys a new pair of shoes right here.
Come on, work smarter, not harder.
Has anyone sussed out the Vessies? Robbo's wearing?
Yes, I have.
They look amazing, but I'm like, they must cost $1 billion.
They are expensive.
Yeah.
There is no retailers in Australia.
Okay.
And shipping's a bitch. So, no, but they look really cool. And they're like a completely waterproof shoe.
Okay.
I have been doing research and I looked into them, but couldn't find them anywhere in Australia.
They look like me Hover Phantoms from Under
I don't reckon. I'm just going to put it out there. I don't know if we need the old waterproofing. Let's just not play when it's wet, mate. How about that? How about it just doesn't rain?
Well, we'll need to move house.
And no morning tea times.
Which is a little bit dearer than buying some waterproof shoes.
It might be worth it though, Paddy. If anything, it might be worth it.
It's not the rain. As the lowest rated player I think that's ever been on this show, it's the morning.
No, Fergie's been here, man.
It's the morning tea times. It's the dew will kill you, not the rain.
Olinda did get me, actually. I've been having the cushy
It's like a
one.
Cool Runnings quote. Like, it's the humidity that kills you. Anyway.
I've been very acclimatized to the 1:30, 2 o'clock tea times.
Yeah.
So playing like 8:30 at Olinda, I was like, Jesus, how are these MA4 boys doing it? That is rough.
That was fresh.
Yeah, it's worth moving up if you're asking me, just to get away from the morning starts. Anyway.
All right, and there was two last ones sent in. The Asics on Trebicos, I don't know. They were stupid expensive. They were about $300. And then Taryn sent in the classic Asics for $100.
Where can you get Asics for 100?
I don't know. The classic Asic. It was just fun.
Just
to
like
say.
the standard, the baseline
Yeah.
Asics shoes.
I'm Googling some Under Armour after this and also sending them a sponsorship email. Anyway, but yeah, okay. If you've got any other recommendations outside of that, hit us up because I think we should find the ultimate shoe for Australian disc golf.
It's a shame Leroy Sharrock didn't message in the old no-shoe
The
or
no-shoe.
sock. Yeah.
Perhaps he felt
He's still
pushed out of it.
Well, I think he's still in discussions with the PDGA. To be honest,
I mean, he literally had to put shoes on to play Invali.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have played Invali with no shoes, which is like, your foot will be a cactus at the end of it with all that acacia.
If anyone's going to wear a barefoot shoe, or be sponsored by them, it's Leroy Sharrock.
And as well as Rainbow Tutus.
He tried to play ball in the middle of winter in those shoes.
I played with him. Yeah.
Wild.
One of the best players you can have on the card, Leroy. We had an absolute blast.
I love it. The dogs are out. I want that T-shirt. All right, the next one up. We did this a little while ago, the word association game. We had some fun with it, so I've brought it back. Ash, basically what it is, I say the word or the phrase, and you say the first thing that comes into your head.
All right. Okay.
All right. I'm going to fire one at Tim, fire one at you, and we'll go through it.
All right, here we go.
All right, Timmy, first off, good sport.
Ooh, Nathan Parrish.
Nathan Parrish.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's a good sport, mate.
He is a good
Just a
sport.
flat out good sport.
I love it. Ash, out of bounds.
Life.
Jeez, some existential stuff happening here.
Mate, that's too deep for this pod.
Sorry,
Moving
boys.
on.
I'll do dick jokes on the next one.
All right, Tim, bagger.
Penloo. I know. I just said I didn't call him a bagger, but he just won about 5 MA1 comps, so he's at the forefront of my mind. Sorry, Pen.
Oh, love it. All right, Ash, 3 over.
Score graphics.
Score graphics.
It's been a big 3 weeks with Parked Media.
You've been deep. You've been deep. Tim, MA4.
Alan Mainpar?
Yeah.
Love that.
He's
I miss Al. He moved to Queensland. I miss him.
Oh, is it Queensland? Oh, he went from Ballarat to Queensland. Hey, mate, Alan Maypar, good on you, buddy. You're getting in the gym and we're loving it, fella.
He's getting back to baseball too, we saw during the week. So
so that forearm's coming back strong.
I still remember him as MA4 though, so
yeah. All right, Ash, ace.
Stony, hole 2.
Stony hole 2. Yeah, the hardest hole in Australia. Nice. Tim, 10 down.
Is that what I shot at Melbourne Celebrates? Is it me? Is it Melbourne Celebrates round 1? Let's go. I'm going to watch it when I get home.
Oh, wow. All right, Ash, bagger.
Anyone who beats me.
Fair enough. I like that. Tim, shank.
Lamb.
Fair enough. Ash, lefty course.
Well, I want to say Bald Hill, but according to Kyle, there's no such thing as a lefty course.
According to Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle Herbertson, a rampant left-hander. According to him, there's no such thing as a lefty course. Yeah.
Oh, I'll disagree with that.
Yeah, that is trash.
I should have said fake is probably, yeah.
Left. All right. Tim, MA60.
Terry Bowen, and he's snapped Achilles.
Is he
Still
back?
playing. Yeah, he's still playing.
He's still playing? Yeah.
Just put a 4 down in at Inverleigh Reds with no Achilles. So
Far out. Good on him. Something to aspire to there.
he literally sent me a message with the scorecard saying, "Don't play the next league because your rating will get smashed." I'm like, thanks for the heads up, Dad.
Ash, injury.
Do you want a list or no? Back, disc, sore.
Disc.
Dylan Feldman came to mind for that one, just so you know.
Yeah. The Bionic Man. Tim, shank. Oh, did I say that?
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
lamb shank. Yeah.
Sorry. Excuses.
Oh, me? Who else has a lot of excuses? You? Me and you.
Yeah. Us on this pod.
Yep.
Yeah. And Ash, final one, bad sport.
Golf.
Golf.
Oh, I went player, and lucky I didn't have to answer that one.
Yeah.
Not repeating what went through my head there.
I was going to say NRL. That's a bad sport.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fun.
Nice one, boys. Bit of fun there. If you want us to ask, if you've got a word for us for the word association games, send it in. All right.
Someone's going to send in dickhead. Yeah. I want to see what comes to our head for that one.
All right, and just to wrap up, we did have a couple of questions come in. So, Ash, I think this is pretty appropriate, but Marlon wants to know: did you get lost on his way to Stony to be here today?
Yeah, mate. I got lost on my way to everywhere on the way here tonight. But yeah, did get to go past beautiful Royal Stony on the way on the train. I believe it was dark. I couldn't see it, but I'm told I went past there. But yeah, no, good to be down in G-Town and not have to play Inverleigh, Marlon. I can tell you now.
Yeah. Love it. Ryan Nicholson actually sent in a real question. How much are events with grass tee pads held back from growing into notable events?
Oh. 0? Oh, no. Doesn't matter.
So is that like is it not talking about fake turf? It's just like you're
Just
playing
with
on
like a
grass.
couple of flags.
bit of a spray paint, couple of flags.
Jumpers for goalposts,
Yeah.
sort of thing, yeah.
I would say if it's a permanent course, definitely it's going to have an effect. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is Ruffy. Ruffy hasn't had tee pads for such a long time, and you're basically playing on dirt, bowls, which sucks. But I don't think, if it's little pop-up events here and there, we don't really mind. I do think, though, that fake grass tee pads are just a staple, just the way to go. I would much rather play on that than really anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, it just doesn't have any effect on me whatsoever.
Yep.
Just point the 2 flags that you have in the right direction and we're all good.
Yeah.
How many shots do you have in a tournament? 65 to 90? Only 18 of them are further up. Ash is pointing up. Only 18 of them are off the pad, so it's not a big impact.
Just from a different perspective on it, I think not from a player perspective, from a filming perspective, it's it looks terrible on a grass tee pad, versus filming flying over that beautiful turf, the solid tee pad or concrete or whatever into the flyover to a couple of flags or sometimes not even flags there. So, from a viewer perspective, it's possibly going to hold it back from being a notable event. But like you say, I think we played the Cataract. We definitely played the Cataraction earlier this year. Half grass, half turf on those tee pads.
Is that the carpet? I know they've got the carpet in the past.
Carpet on a couple of them and half turf, half grass. Looked a bit better, but also, the event focused on a whole lot of other stuff outside of what the tee pads were as well, merch and social activities and, and that sort of stuff. So, and player experience. So I think there's other things that can make an event a notable event too.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see a little bit more, if it was like an A tier, that they've got something for the tee pads, some kind of permanent tee pad.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, rather than a pop-up. But, I don't think it's going to hold too many back.
And players need to know you don't need a tee off between the flags as well. You don't need to You can take your space either side of the dirt patch that's made, in the ground on day 2 of a grass T-pad event.
Yeah.
Amazing how many players don't know that rule. But sorry, guys, should I not have told that secret?
No, it's good to know.
100%. Be safe, like far out. Yeah. Tee off from where it's safe. Now, the Instagram account Flower Field Folly, which is a band, have asked us, what is the official band of Australian disc golf? And I sent to them like a band made up of current disc golfers, or is it a band that represents Australian disc golf? So I'm not really sure, but I'm happy to go with sort of both things here. The actual band that I think would represent Australian, I don't know if it's Flower Field Folly. There's like hardcore, like kind of death metal-y kind of band.
Sounds about right.
Still cool, but yeah, I don't. For me, I'm not really into that. But I don't know. I
don't mind it.
What do you think?
I don't know. What are you putting on as you drive to a tourney? Do you have a go-to, or what's the go?
Day to remember for me usually. Yeah.
Just always smashing King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I reckon they'd be a fitting disc golf. Yeah.
I feel like those boys would probably play disc.
They'd definitely play frisbee. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, I'm happy to say that. King Giz.
Someone from Slipknot plays, I think.
Okay.
Someone from Slipknot. I think it's one of the 7 guitarists from Slipknot's a disc golfer. But I don't know, for a Melbourne tournament coming into Melbourne Celebrates, I think maybe Coldplay might be the band of Australian disc golf.
The name seems appropriate for Victorian Coldplay.
For Melbourne disc golf, I'm thinking your Matty Fazzes and your Chris Scotts. I want to get some grungy sort of death metal-y punk rock stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
That's when I think disc golf music. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
Cool. Skate music from the 90s.
Yeah.
All right. And if you had to make up a band of current disc golfers, we know a few people who play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What comes to mind?
I can just see
straight off the bat and say, I think my brother is one of the best drummers you'll ever hear in your life.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not even being biased. The kid's a freak. He's 42, but he's younger than me, but he's an absolute freak of a drummer. I'd be amazed if anyone can knock him off the perch there.
You know, Jarrah Sweeten is a very, very handy drummer too.
Ooh, it could be fun.
Throw that out there.
I think Fergie could pull off the sort of 60s, 70s and 80s glam rock front man. So put some spandex on and he'd be right up there.
If we're talking punk rock, Fergie's had a few roles over the years. He used to be a bassist, lead sort of singer for a punk rock band. There you go.
Else do we know that's musically inclined in the disc golf scene?
I was, if we're going a little bit of different direction, I was going to say Luke Pote.
Oh, yeah, Potey.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very
more of your sort of solo acoustic sort of customer, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oscar Felberg's guitarist.
Oscar would be a shoe-in, actually.
Yeah. And Pat Ferris, he likes a bit of a bit of drum too.
We've got a good band shaping up here.
Yeah.
Nice thick Paddy Ferris riff. That'd be sick.
All right, so we're not having doubles at Aussie Champs. We're now having a big jam sesh from the sound of things.
Let's go.
All right. Good question. Now, I do have a question I want to ask as well. So, Tim, me, Ash, do you you get into AFL?
Yes, most sports, yes.
Yeah, okay. So, big fans of AFL. I'm seeing quite a lot. We're seeing there's these significant milestones. There's a player's 200th game, 250th, all these milestones. I'm wondering, after having seen something from a disc golfer, what is a disc golf milestone that you would celebrate? And it came from Stannis, who travelled over last year and played a couple of events as well as the World Team Champs. And he was celebrating his 200th PDGA tournament.
It's massive.
I was like, what do you guys think? Would there be anything worth celebrating there?
Great question. It did make me look, and I've played 117 tourneys. I was going to say we should celebrate your 100th, but I've already had it, and it was completely not memorable. So
if we have to start having banners at a local C tier when someone's clocking up their 150th tournament, I don't know how long I'll last. To be honest,
I reckon you can get around debuting an MPO.
Yeah,
it'd be sick if you if we celebrated a person's first tournament birdie in their first tournament.
Yeah.
Like AFL players kick their first goal.
That's cool. I like that.
Just run around and
really get behind that.
Yeah.
What about first tournament turkey? You know, first tournament turkey, like a hat trick in cricket.
Yeah.
You know,
That's cool. I do like your first MPO win, or you know, your first tournament win. That's pretty exciting too.
We get them onto the tee off. That's celebrating a first.
Yeah.
What do you keep though? Like you take 5 wickets in cricket. You know, you keep the ball. You make 100.
Really?
You might keep a bail. Yeah, I've got a couple. I've got a couple of them.
Yeah.
You keep a stump if you take a hat trick. Got a couple of them too.
Yeah.
But
nice.
You know, what do you take? You know, if you from your first MPO win, do you souvenir something?
I usually do a tournament disc. Like so.
Yeah, I did that as well. Got a tour, whatever the tournament stamp disc. Spot on.
Because I mean, in MPO we don't often get those discs. But yeah, definitely if I win, I'll go. I sign the back of it and I chuck it on the shelf. So that's my little thing.
I didn't do that. I just didn't think I'd win another one. So I was like, I better grab a memento for this one.
I really like the celebrating first birdie. That's a cool one.
You could also get a 10 and make your own jersey. It's also an option. Good segue into...
Good segue.
Make sure you get on the AusDisc website and pick one up before the end of the month.
Yes.
Win my Taipan.
Yeah, I like it.
You want to win it, right, Paddy? Surely.
Win the Taipan?
Yeah.
I've got a few of them, mate. But
this one's special.
Now, I do need a new night shirt, so I'll
get on it.
That.
You can get one for Fred. Come in kid sizes.
If I win the Taipan, I can promise you now I'm putting it straight into its rightful home, which is the lake at Mount Gambier.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But I don't know. I reckon, listeners, if you're out there listening and you've got a milestone, a 50th, 100th, 150th, 200th tournament coming up, get into the Tee Off Instagram. Let these boys know. Flood them so they can celebrate it. Because, hey, it might take you 10 years playing. You know, it's going to take you a long time to get to 200. Because think about how many tournaments you play a year. That's a heap.
How many times have you beaten Ash Weidner? That could be a milestone.
How many times have I beaten him?
Yeah.
How many tournaments have I played?
Yeah, there you go.
I think he's got me once. I got 44 tournaments. He might have had me once or twice, I think.
What about, actually, the last one I did think of is career wins.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's kind of cool. I mean, if you got 50 career wins, that's,
Yeah.
Anyway, I like it. If you got some ideas, let us know.
I think they had that with Schwebby, didn't they? 400 wins or 400 tournaments or something last year sometime.
I mean, I know the big boys are counting majors and all that sort of stuff, but yeah. I mean, one thing in my mind as well, sorry, I know this is dragging on a little bit, but I'm tracking how many majors I've won in each state. And
okay.
And I've got...
Me too. I've 0.
Well, I'm kind of doing like the Aussie major bingo, and I've got every one but Queensland.
Queensland. Oh, yeah. Watch out. You're playing Queensland Open this year?
Maybe, yeah.
Well, you better get there, buddy. Otherwise, your bingo card's going to go unscathed this year.
Bainey hasn't pissed off to Europe again, so...
That's a very good point.
No, all right. Well, I think we'll call it there. Thanks for listening to another episode of The Tee Off. Ash, really appreciate you coming down, being on the mic after an absolute journey.
Mate, bucket list items are bucket list items. You got to tick them off.
Unreal. Timmy Bowen, thanks for jumping in again. As always, please make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Send in any questions or topics you would like us to discuss. Until next time, we hope you get out and play some disc golf with your mates.
So that's the end of the episode. Thanks for listening. I don't know why you're still here. We have to go see our families. Seriously, just go play disc golf.